Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rockwell Automation Fair here in beautiful Anaheim, California. My name's Shannon McKay, and I'm in our Lifecycle Services business unit, and I'm leading the Verve integration, which has been incredibly exciting. We acquired Verve just over a year ago, and Verve is a OT cybersecurity platform which helps our customers identify and manage their vulnerabilities and risk. So I'm joined here today by Rick Kaun, who is the VP of Sales globally for Verve. So welcome, Rick.
Thanks
for joining us. The topic of today is enhancing OT cybersecurity. The topic today is how to build a successful business case for OT cybersecurity, something Rick is particularly experienced in. And so we're going to start with a few questions, Rick. Where should CISOs begin when building an OT security plan, and why is it necessary to have a different plan for OT versus IT?
A great question, and a common starting point for many. We often see people jump in and, from background perspective, think they need to treat symptoms, so they buy point solutions towards an end game. In reality, what CISOs need more than anything is, what does done look like? What's it going to take to get there? And by the way, it's a lot of data, but more importantly, context. And third, how are they going to maintain it? A lot of people forget that part. And the only way to do that is to build, why it's harder in OT, a multi-dimensional context. Think about it, in OT, IT, everything can be homogeneous. We can use commodity tools that go to the cloud and minimize footprint, but those are dangerous and fast and sometimes reckless in an OT space. So the best thing you can do is build a very solid foundation around data and context, and then use that to help map towards that done state, and then always bake in maintenance, because you can't just turn it on, you need to actually use it.
Yeah, good. Really good point, Rick. Thinking about resourcing in our customer base and such a challenge, what approaches can security leaders leverage for greater efficiency in this time of really scarce resources?
Yeah, that's another really significant challenge for most of these OT spaces. And it comes down to two things. It's really leveraging the scarce resources you do have and automating as much as you possibly can. The two of them work together in what we call a think global, act local scenario. If you're able to gather that rich data in an automated fashion, bring it to a central view across all of your sites, you can then have that scarce resource analyze and design a solution once that can then be consistently applied across all your facilities. That's where you maximize the scarce resource, automation where possible. We've actually seen large manufacturers drive 70% efficiency over traditional hunt and peck type tools, right? So what used to take 10 hours to assess, analyze, and remediate is now down from 10 to 3. And that's based on primarily that centralized resource, doing that analysis, and then sharing via automation consistently.
Yeah, good. Really, really good insights. Where do you often see security practitioners or leaders fall short when they want to build a successful program?
Yeah, going back a little bit to one of the other ones, it really is around the management and maintenance. If you look at the Department of Energy right now, they're building cyber practice guidelines, trying to help industry to anticipate and adopt the NIST CSF. The vast majority of guidelines, 33 of the 38, are in identify and protect, because that's the fast-flowing stream. Your systems themselves may not change, but the software on them, the requirements of them, the access from your support models and mechanisms will, vulnerabilities, threats, etc. It's really about keeping ahead of the game by putting some money and some thought into that maintenance portion.
It's really good feedback. It's an incredibly complex challenge that our customers face.
Yep.
How are you seeing our customers and CISOs at our customers demonstrate measurable improvements in their OT security practice?
Yeah, that's a natural follow-on. So when they build that think global, act local that we're talking about, they have a really deep, detailed understanding of the assets measured against their objectives. The cool part from that is they can then very significantly track how they're improving, or when new events come out and take them backwards. It also doubles down in allowing them to decide, hey, this bulk of action can probably be added to a managed service provider, like a Rockwell global organization.
Excellent. We talk about regulations, we talk about the pressure that our customers and CISOs face. Have you experienced any opportunities where CISOs, or how can CISOs gain internal buy-in within their organizations for the programs, for the funding, for what they need to do?
Yeah, the other cool thing about that contextual data, and we actually did a couple of them today, very well attended at the show. Basically, if you take the contextual data, You take what's otherwise noise and hyperbole and everybody sort of poo-poos as the sky's falling, and you put it down to brass tacks to say, look, I have this many critical vulnerabilities on this many critical systems at my highest revenue or my highest impact facilities, and you have an instant awareness and a training campaign, right?
Yeah.
And we can all see how we can make daily differences in our activities and our procurement efforts to bring that down and keep it in line. It really is data driven from the management and maintenance through to the training and awareness to the actual budget and demonstration to regulators or the board.
Yeah, good. Good, and I especially liked the cyber term poo-poo in there, in that answer too, so very, very well done.
Very technical.
Last serious question for you, last cyber question for you. Is there an area you've seen in your experience that can either make or break an OT program, an OT security management program?
Yeah, really it's managing expectations about how far we're going to go. We're never going to get to zero. Nobody's bulletproof. The measure of your capability is in testing. So the more I know and the more we're protecting the crown jewels, we're being proactive, and you need to do drills. You need to have staff to keep it up. We've seen organizations in regulation basically declare regulatory bankruptcy because they can't, through manual process and human intervention, keep up. So really the proof and the evidence is in the day-to-day adoption. It really is a culture. It's a program. It's not a project.
Yeah, excellent. There's one thing I've learned in this experience with you and with the expertise that Verve brings to our customers is that it's a circular program. It's not a start and an end. It's a perpetual opportunity to just continue to work continuously to thwart these threats. Last question for you, not tied to cyber. You've been a part of Rockwell for just over a year. This is your second automation fair.
Yep.
Last year, of course, was a big splash. It was a week after the acquisition. What's your favorite thing about the first two automation fairs that you've attended?
It's going to sound cheesy, but the sense of community, both within my peers at Rockwell, but the people we see regularly from different divisions, different geographies, from our end users, from partners, just in general, it's everybody's high-fiving and smiling and happy, and we have some tough discussions, and we have some challenges everybody does as they do business together on a global stage with lack of resources, but there's such a sense of camaraderie and problem solving and people rolling up their sleeves to figure out, does this make sense? How can we help each other out? It's really quite empowering, actually.
Yeah, awesome. I agree, by the way. That's great. Well, listen, Rick, thank you very much. It's been a great discussion for all of those joining us. Thanks for joining us. If you're in Anaheim, please come see us at the Cybersecurity booth as well as the Verve booth. And otherwise, have a great week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.